Hi, welcome back to Talk of the Town. Mike Manesiotis, volunteer chairman, and Tyler Schutz, representing the RBC Heritage, remind us this exciting tournament is right around the corner and explain the need for volunteers. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, Mike, you're here to talk about the volunteer team at the RBC Heritage. So, I have been told that it is consistently ranked as one of the best on the PGA Tour. Why do you think that is?
Well, primarily because of our people. The event is what it is, the location is what it is, but the people are different. Everybody pulls together, they pitch in. I'm surrounded by leadership that's well above my pay grade. In other words, they're ex-CEOs or doctors or lawyers, but when it comes to Heritage Time, they put their hats on and they help out.
Yeah, really, it's an incredible group of people you work with. Volunteers perform many tasks during the event. What are some of the more interesting positions?
Well, I think that it depends on what they like to do. We try to fit the volunteer to the job. There's 19 different committees, so there's something for everyone. If somebody can't stand for long periods of time, there's committees for them and so on if they want to be next to the people. But the most interesting ones, I think, are the ones that get close to the players. The couriers that get to sit with a player coming back from AT and have a conversation with an U.S. Open champion or something like that, or the people that work inside the ropes that are there for the 20-foot putt that goes in, and they're right there to see the excitement. So I think those are the most exciting ones.
Yeah, I have to agree. So if our viewers want to volunteer, what are some of the requirements?
Well, first off, we have the number one requirement is probably being over the age of 18.
Okay.
We do have one committee that you can be under 18, that's the standard bearers. But most are over the age of 18, and it's really just four shifts during the week at 16 hours.
And so what committees are you currently looking for additional volunteers?
Well, we're always looking for marshals. That's probably our largest committee.
And what's the actual duties of a marshal?
You kind of see them mostly on the TV holding up the sign. They're there for crowd management, to keep the crowd quiet, and that's pretty much their job. Other committees like caddy operations, they manage the caddy parking lot and they help out a lot during our Wednesday Pro-Am. And then one new interesting committee we have is our player refreshment. We started that last year, and they make sure that all the tee boxes have water and Powerade and so forth for the players.
And so there is a fee to be a volunteer, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And so what does that fee, what does that cover?
Well, it's $100, and you get, though, a shirt, a jacket, a hat, a ticket. So the retail value is many times that.
Certainly.
So there is a thank you there for those volunteers. And this year, the marketing team went out and found Southern Tide as being one of our partners. So all the money that's spent in those uniforms that you're paying for is being produced right here in South Carolina. So that brings $100,000 back into the state versus overseas. So you get uniforms, and you get to be part of a organization that gives back to charity.
Yeah, an incredible organization, to say the least. So how long have you been volunteering, and what makes you come back year after year, Mike?
Almost as long as Tyler's been alive. Not quite.
I'm not even going to ask his age.
This is probably my 19th year.
Okay.
So I've been doing different jobs. I started out working in the concession stands. I started working in the commissary. Then I was in communications for 7 years, and I've been doing chairman of the volunteers for the last 3 years. It'll be my 4th year coming up.
Yeah, wonderful. And Tyler, what do they have you doing?
This is actually my second full year, and I'm kind of in charge of the signing up the volunteers and making sure they're in the right committees.
They start you out young, don't they?
He does a lot more than that. He also, every phone call is returned, every email is addressed, every concern is answered. So he does a lot more than he's letting you know.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So if people are interested in volunteering for this coming tournament, who do they contact? How do they get a hold of you?
That would be me.
Okay.
Yeah, the best way is to go to our website, rbcheritage.com, and you go click on the volunteer tab, and you can submit an application there, and I'll get back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you both for joining us
Appreciate
today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back with Talk of the Town.